everyone, welcome back to Yulan's channel. In this video, we'll be continuing our AP Psychology course content series, and today we'll be talking about Unit 1.7, which is the tools for examining brain structure and functions. So if you're interested, just keep watching. If you haven't watched my previous videos on AP Psychology, such as Unit 1, Scientific Foundation of Psychology, and also previous videos on like Unit 2, Biological Basis of Behavior, please do so after watching this video. So yeah, let's begin. So here are the key vocab you need to know for this subunit. Lesion, PET, positron emission tomography scan, electroencephalogram, EEG, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, CT, computed tomography scan, and fMRI, functional MRI. So let's begin. So just a quick recall, we talk about case studies. Do you remember what a case study is from Unit 1? This is one of the research methods. Let's go over it once more because this is kind of important. So case study is an in-depth study of an individual or small group. Usually, case studies are done on people with rare circumstances. One of the case study we mentioned in Unit 1 was the incident of Phineas Gage, who had an iron pole penetrated through his skull and brain. No one else ever had this issue or injury, but scientists did an in-depth study on him to advance their understanding of brain functions. So his damage was to the frontal lobe, and which was the emotional center. And yeah, please watch my previous video on Unit 1. So then we have split brain. Case studies could also be done on split brain patients. In the past, a surgery may have been done to eliminate seizures in which doctors would sever the corpus callosum, which connects the two brain hemispheres, and we'll talk about this connection bridge in our previous video. So doing case studies on split brain patients helps scientists gain a deeper understanding of how the brain works and what each part of the brain is responsible for. Interestingly enough, they found out that each hand could be drawing a completely different image at the same time without messing up. It is really cool to see this happen. So the scientist one of the scientists who advanced the research of split brain patients was Roger Sperry, and he was able to gain insight about each hemisphere of the brain. So we have left and right hemisphere. Left hemisphere controls right hand spoken language, written language, mathematical and logical thought processes, analysis and reading. And right hemisphere controls left hand, which is, as you can see, like right hemisphere controls left hand, and left hemisphere controls right hand. And right hemisphere also controls nonverbal or visual perception, and is responsible for musical and artistic processing and emotional thoughts. So think like left deep thinking and right creative mind. Now let's examine the brain structures and some functions the tools may be used. So advancements in technology have allowed psychologists to study the brain in new and exciting ways. Lesioning may be used in circumstances to destroy certain selective parts of the brain in order to reduce a behavior. We can also stimulate areas of the brain to generate a response. For example, I could electrically stimulate your motor cortex to make you raise your hand. Electroencephalograms (EEG) and positron emission tomography (PET) scans are both ways in which we can see the activity of the brain. EEGs measures and record brain waves in various states, such as dreaming and sleeping, to study cognition. PETs use glucose to monitor which part of the brain light up when patients are given various tasks and produces color graphics. Using PETs, you could visualize changes in the brain as it functions. This is because when a neuron is active, blood flow is increased and more glucose and oxygen is brought into the brain. When using PET, radioactively tagged glucose is injected into the bloodstream, and this is detected through a PET scanner. It then shows where the glucose is going and when and at which instance. Then we have computer. I think I had a typo here. It's actually computed tomography. It's not computer. So CT, and this is really commonly heard. And CT scans and magnetic resonance imaging, which is MRI, create visual images of the structure of the brain. CT scans use a variety of X-rays photographs to create an image of a two-dimensional slice. MRIs use various magnetic fields and radio waves to create an image of the brain's soft tissue. fMRIs are unique in that they can show us both the physical structure of the brain as well as activities and functions. This has allowed us to gain more insight into which parts of the brain are responsible for specific tasks and abilities. So at the same time, there are like benefits for each type of technology. However, there are some limitations to each of them. So for EEG, it doesn't really show the function of the brain, and also like it doesn't show no structure. There's no structure or like function of the brain shown in EEG. It's more like the radio waves and how like the electric waves. And then we have CT. CT doesn't show the function of the brain. It do show the structure of the brain. I think I made a mistake here, so please ignore this. And then we have PET. PET is less precise than fMRI and exposure to radiation. And then we have fMRI. Brain areas are active for different reasons, but unable to detect the exact reason by using fMRI. So yeah, please remember that despite this usually come up in the multiple choice question, and when the question asks you something related to glucose, then please just like think about PET in the first moment, and it should be the first thing that pops up in your mind when you see glucose. And also for EEG is like electronic waves, and yeah, this is also really important. So usually I feel like EEG and PET are the ones that are really easy to remember, and for CT and fMRI, just remember like CT doesn't show function of the brain, and fMRI like show like the areas and functions, but don't show like what's the exact reasons for causing this thing. So yeah, so here's the end of this video. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.